Hello, all of you volume crafters. It's Karen back again with another fun volume make and take and volume project and all that good stuff. I can't wait to craft with you. This has been fun all year long, doing all kinds of stuff. So gosh, let's just get right into it. And then at the end, maybe I could come back and talk a little bit about our specials. Let's get into it. We've got this really fun kit. See here. So I'm going to start. My first card I want to do, I think, is going to be my coffee in a mug, because we need to do our background and we need to let that dry. I've got a couple sample cards here. I had to grab them. So this is what we're going to be working with. Here's our coffee in a mug. We're going to make it look like we've got coffee stains on our mug. So what I want to do first is, looking at the card, we've got, this is our card base for the coffee cup card. This is our clip art. And then we've got the watercolor cardstock. That's the face of the card. So that's one card. The next card, which is our butterfly, is going to have the white card base, and it's going to have the black on the top of the card, and then we gave you 2 envelopes as well. So that's what you've got in your kit. So let's set this aside. We're working with our coffee cup to start. I'm going to fold this so we've got this guy all set, and we can set him aside as well. Okay, so let's work with this. I'm going to get a little better surface so we can see what we're doing. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, so to start, we're going to work with the Spectrum Noir sparkle pens. We do have those on our website, and it's a water-based, kind of like an ink and a paint combined. And the great thing is it adds sparkle and shimmer while adding color. So to start, let's learn how to open these guys. And they are water-based, so if you get it on you, don't worry about it. You'll be just fine. Okay, so to open these, first you're going to pull the lid off, and you see that green ring? You don't want that ring. That's what's keeping them secure for shipping. So we're going to take that green ring out and throw it away. You don't need it anymore. Whoops. And then we're going to put the cap back on. And what you want to do is, you may think it's tight and go, oh, that's pretty tight. Nope, but do you see how there's a gap there? No gap. So you've got to pierce the inside, really squeeze that tight so it's completely flush. And the important thing when we work with the sparkle marker is we don't want to waste it. So I know it's like fun to get excited and give it a squeeze, but then you'll end up with the swimming pool, and that's no fun. So let's put the lid back on, shake it to wake it. You can hear there's ball bearings in it. And what I'm going to do is give it a little squeeze, and the minute I start to see color in the little white filament here, I'm going to stop, because then I'm going to let gravity do a little bit of the work. Now, can you start to see that? Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, look at that. So I was just patient, and it did its thing, and now it's all fed. So what we want to do is we want to get a little bit of this down, give it a little squeeze, like this. I'm going to put a little bit down here. Well, this pink. And see, I'm going to pull in some of that brown to mix. And actually, I could go off of the surface if I wanted to. And you could, if you want to carry this off the edge, you can. That's all. So we've got that. Now, let's let this kind of cure for a minute. And while we're doing that, I want you to sit and fussy cut out our coffee cup and our little icons. This is our sentiment that can either go in the side or on the outside. Here I took the pink sparkle, or any color really, and I'm going to give him a little hit there just for fun. Highlight him. So I'm going to fussy cut him out and come back to me. So we'll do that. So while this is kind of curing still, we need to do our little coffee rings. But to start, you know what? Let's get this mounted on a card base. Why not? We can do that while it's drying. I'm going to get my favorite adhesive. Throw that down here. Just like that. Get him all anchored down. That looks pretty good. Alrighty. And have you gotten your fussy cutting done? Okay, what we're going to do is the little outline. So I've got, go run and grab yourself a cup. Go get yourself any kind of a cup, a glass cup, This is a plastic cup, whatever. And get yourself some water too. I have a little cup of water here. So what we're going to do, we need to make our coffee rings like we left our coffee cup, and it's going to stain our surface. So I'm going to get my finger wet, and I'm going to rim the edge of my glass or cup with a little bit of water. So it's wet. And then I'm going to twist slightly and just make a little circle and let go. Look at that. It makes a little ring. Can you see that? A little wet ring. Like I left a mug out. I'm going to do that again. Actually, I got to clean this a little bit. So it's water-based, no big deal. Get that a little clean. So I'm going to get that wet again, and I'm going to do another one down here. You could go off the page if you wish, whatever you want to do. There we go. So now we've got our coffee. Then all you're going to do with your fussy cut embellishments is you're going to anchor them where you wish. I did my cup here. I used pop dots, and I anchored everything down, and you've got a really cute sentiment. If you want to write on the inside, since it's craft paper, you could use something like a white Uniball Signo pen. Oops, that's a really great pen to go on the white surfaces. And you could put in a little gift card, and that would be super easy and super fun. So that's a great, fun, easy way to do a background with these sparkle markers. Not only backgrounds, but you can use them in lieu of regular markers and color in images. So that is fantastic. So that is our coffee cup card. Moving on to our butterfly card. Now this one, you are going to need white ink, and that I wasn't able to give you, unfortunately. The ink I am using, so if you do have an ink pad that shows up on dark paper, that's great. Otherwise, certainly switch this out for white and use a black ink pad, and we'll do the reverse. That's totally fine. Actually, leave the black card off. You've already got this white card base. Here, let's move all this off. I got a little water there. So if you don't have a white ink pad, go ahead and leave the black card base off of there, because we're going to do it like this, but if you don't have that, just do it on white. So this is going to look like this. I'm using my favorite Ranger Pigment Ink Pad Glacier White. We do have this on the website. It is a really great white ink pad. So the stamp set that came in your kit, which is really phenomenal. There's so much in here, and there's so much you can do with it. This is a great set to just color in, but we want to incorporate some watercolor techniques in with that. So let's get him opened up. My goodness. It's like a test of endurance to get the package open. Okay, so you can use either butterfly, doesn't matter. I'm probably going to use this one right here. Either one, or you could use this one. Just peel that off. So I'm going to get my white ink pad here, get him all inked up. And he's going to be actually kind of coming off of the card. And again, like I said, you could do this on white with black. That's totally fine too. So yes, don't try this at home, kids. You should have an acrylic block or a Misty. Shame on me. There we go. Something like that. Just enough to give us an outline. Now, if I had it in my positioner tool, I'd probably stamp that a couple times just to get it really nice and deep dark white. Now, a couple things you can do. You can certainly fill it in with your sparkle markers that I included with your kit, and that is going to add a little bit of shimmer and shine in there. It's going to show up, but you may have to layer it. Now, when you're working with sparkle markers, if you just color like this, see how it's not very dark, but if you touch and touch, 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 it builds up more color, and it's a lot more vibrant, if you can see that. Let me switch to gold. That's going to be probably even better. So yeah, look at that gold. That's beautiful. So you can kind of go through here and hit different parts. Now you can certainly watercolor with this too. To watercolor, you know, I would do, say, a little bit right there at the base. And then I would take my simple craft paintbrush, get that a little wet, but then just wipe off the water just so it's a little damp, so it can kind of travel and carry that. And I can pull color up, as you can see. Pull color up. So then I've got like a light to dark fade going on as I'm coloring. Look how pretty that is. Another fun product you can use to do watercoloring, you don't just necessarily need to use paint. We've got aqua markers, but I'm really a huge fan of the Spectrum Noir metallic markers. These are really fun. They come in a variety of flavors. I would say my favorite is the Antique Elements. And so this is just a journaling marker that has a twin tip of bullet and brush for journaling, but it goes on dark paper and it's water-based. So let me get this out of the package and I'll show you what I'm talking about. They make these packages like iron and can't get everything out. There we go. So really pretty. And let me just show you just so you can get a flavor for this too. If I were to work on, here I've got a spare piece of, now for lettering, this is just beautiful. This is the bullet tip and it shows up really nice like this. And then the brush tip is really pretty as well. Super pretty on the dark colors, as you can see, but also water-based. So like, let's pull, I've got this pink here, and I could come in and add some pink down here. And then I can take a damp brush and again, pull up color if I wish. I need a little more water on that guy. And the thing is, this is pretty forgiving as well. So you could go in and add more if you felt like you didn't get enough color down the first time or you carried it up too far. You can go back in and continue to pull color. Here, and let me use this purple too, just so you can get a feel for that. Look how pretty that is. So again, working it at the base, getting it wet, and then pulling that so it goes dark to light is a really pretty look. Really fun. So those are, again, are the metallic markers that I'm working with, but your sparkle markers work really effectively for this kind of thing too. Really pretty. Now, if I was going to do any shading with these sparkle markers, let me just show you that just for kicks. I've got another piece of black cardstock here. If I wanted to shade something dark to light, again, I could, for watercoloring, you know, if I color, it's just going to look very flat, but I want to take it dark to light. So what I could do then is, you know, pull it towards the center a little bit, pull it towards the center, and then I can take my brush and kind of bridge that gap, scooching the dark to the edges. Do you see that? So then it's got more of a dark to light gradient. Now if I tap, tap, tap the edges, I'm going to build up more dark color on the edges. So then it's truly going dark to light like a fade as it goes in towards the center. And that's kind of how a lot of watercolor is achieved, that dark to light, like that. To finish off your butterfly, I did add stickles to this. I outlined him and added lots of other fun things. And again, that can be on dark or white. You can mount that down and you're all good to go. I hope you had fun with the abbreviated watercolor that we did today. Some fun new techniques. And again, this was the Spectrum Sparkle that we used. I used the white Uniball Signo as well. I used the pigment ink pad from Ranger Stickles. We used the metallic markers, all that good stuff. So basically anything that is water-based can be used for watercolor. It doesn't have to just be a paint. It can be any type of water-based marker, Spectrum Aqua, Tombow. In terms of ink, you can use Tim Holtz Distress. You can use, what else am I thinking of? Memento, did I say that? Memento. So many things. So if you have questions, I would love to answer any questions you have. Have fun playing. I'd love to see your creations. So if you liked that project and you want to get a little more taste of sparkle markers, here's the brand new packages that just came out, like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago maybe. We were the first to have these. They're in different sets of 3. Let's go over some of the colors that are available. Let's see, this one is soft pastels. You're going to get rose quartz, soft jade, and moonstone. This set is called Earthy Natural. You're going to get holly leaf, smoke quartz, and harvest moon. The next set is Antique Vintage. This is a lovely set. This is Fig, Peacock Blue, Macaroon. And then this actually is probably my favorite aside from clear. This is the set called Tint and Tone, but what it is you get the metallic crystal clear, you get the starry sky and onyx black, which is really fun. And then of course, crystal clear. And I believe we have some metallics as well. What else do I have for you? Let's talk about the new acrylic paint markers as well from Spectrum Noir. So this is a non-toxic water-based paint pen with a juicy foam tip. Really great for writing on ornaments, glass, plastic, non-porous and porous surfaces alike, dark or light surfaces, because it's really opaque and it's going to go on solid. So like I've got one open here. Actually, I think my favorite set is going to be this one, which is the Essential, because in that you're going to get, let me zoom in so you can see, gold, silver, black, white. They are the essential colors you need for all your holiday projects. So that's a must-have. We also have a really good bundle where we're bundling all 4 of those together for you, and you're going to save a little bit of money when you buy the bundle. So looking at what these look like here, I have black here. I've got a couple open. Let me see if I can just do this to show you. I had primed and pumped one before, but you can kind of see it's just super opaque. You can color it in and just do a whole lot with it. Really beautiful, very vibrant colors. Those of you who joined our last project will remember we did a little bit of foiling. We've got all the foils back in stock, both the paper craft and the multi-surface foil in a whole range of colors. And I swear we're the most inexpensive you're going to see on that. I believe they're $4.99 a roll, a really good deal because it's a huge roll of foil that'll last you a really long time. And we've got like the different foam shapes. We have hearts as well as the circles and the stars to foil and foam and foil all of your projects. I wanted to mention the Score Pal tabletop stacker because so many of you have purchased it, and for those who haven't, a little fun tip I just found out. So yes, of course you can stack, these are giant rolls, but if you have thin rolls of score tape, maybe they aren't as heavy. Here's the little stacker, and it's kind of lightweight. So what the manufacturer recommends, yeah, you're going to put your scissors and pens in here and all that good stuff, but you can plug these little guys out. I'm doing this with one hand. Just plug these little holes out, and you're supposed to fill those caddies. I mean, yeah, sure, you could put other pens or your paper piercer or whatnot, but you could actually fill those with something heavy like buckwheat or rice or sand, and then put the stoppers back in, and that's going to weight down your stacker. So if you have really thin rolls that aren't very heavy, it allows you to keep them on the stacker and rip it off like, you know, a tape dispenser, and it won't move quite as much. So wanted to share that helpful hint with you. So some really fun Totally Tiffany buddy bags that are long favorites that are back in stock after the manufacturer was out for some time, and we have total stock on these, so grab them now if you've been waiting for them. The Sarah buddy bag, which holds the tri-blend markers. My favorite, of course, the Karen buddy bag, because it's the Karen bag, which holds a whole host of things. It's a really great dimension, 7 3/4 by 4 1/4, holding all kinds of files in the, you know, acrylic stamp sheets in that type of a storage container. The Denise has long been a favorite as well. Has the little compartments, the little acrylic compartments that comes with 3 interior boxes, so you can store almost anything you want in there. That is the Denise. And lastly, the Teresa, which is great for your glitter glues and washi tape, different things like that. So of course we have a whole host of other buddy bags, but wanted to mention those because they're in such demand and hard to find. So the X machine, we have both refills in stock right now. I know that repositionable has been hard to find since about February. The manufacturer has been out. We have that back in stock. So repositionable or permanent, and we have some bundle deals on that as well. A ton of new items have been recently added to our clearance category, including these releases from Lawn Fawn that came out last summer, some fun virtual crafting stamps and dies, in addition to a whole bunch from Crafter's Companion and Gemini. Just amazing deals, like 70–80% off. Kind of frightening. Buzz over there and grab those in the clearance category at shopbecreative.com, because once they are gone, and there's just a lot of good deals to be had. And of course, our art glitter, Designer Dries Clear, one of the most popular glues out there because it dries clear, goes on white, dries clear, and flexible, which is really important when you're lining the edges, say, of shaped flower die cuts and sprinkling glitter on them, and you don't want it to crack as you're shaping things and It's just a great all-purpose, non-toxic liquid glue. Very hard to find at times because it does freeze if it gets below 40 degrees. So we are very mindful of that when we ship. If we look and it's a little cold where you are, we actually look up the weather before we ship your order. If it's in the colder months and we think you're in, say, the Midwest or the East or even sometimes in the South, we'll actually put in your zip code and look up what the weather looks like and see, you know, how much insulation we need to add to that item or if we need to wait a couple days. But rest assured, your designer dries clear will get to you. So stock up on that now and never be out. Wow, that went super fast. I'm really glad you were able to join me today. I'm going to link all of the show specials here somewhere across my face. I'm going to put all those discounts and all that good stuff. And then after, I'll do some images to recap kind of what we talked about with both the sale and the new items. And it's just so great to be here with you. Thank you to everyone, Kate and everybody at Begamy and in the volume group for giving us this venue. It's been just really fun all of last year and this year to join you this way virtually when I can't see you in person. I'm really liking it. It's really nice to be able to connect and see your comments and see your projects that you post later and go more in depth with classes that maybe you wouldn't be able to drive to and take in person. This is a great way to go. So thanks for joining me. As always, you can go visit us online at shopbecreative.com. You can also message us via Facebook, facebook.com/shopbecreative. And I'll respond to you right away. So thanks for joining me. Have a great rest of your day.